So this session is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be very, very interactive. You're going to actually do everything we're going to talk about. I've only got half an hour, and this is a bit of a last-minute talk. I was asked to replace a speaker who couldn't do it, so I cut this down from what's normally about a 75-minute presentation, so I do apologise if we sort of get a bit lost in time towards the end, but we'll see what we can do. Before we get into the key points, I just want to talk about success for a second. Now, success is a very important feature in everything that we're talking about. Success in delivery, success in negotiation, success in business. And for me, there are three elements to success: empathy, confidence, and competence. Now, if you have competence and confidence without empathy, you're arrogant. If you have competence and empathy without confidence, then people will think of you as a fraud. If you have empathy and confidence without competence, then, well, you are a fraud. You literally cannot do what you say you're trying to do. And there's a lot of people out there in the world today who are overconfident in what they're trying to do. But what I'm going to teach you for the next 30 minutes is about the communication skills and the collaboration skills and the cooperation skills that you need in order to be successful in, well, anything that you're going to try and do. So we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at different elements: collaboration, communication, and cooperation. When we first talk about communication, there are a lot of different elements which are important. The first one is that communication is concise. This is an area that I struggle with. I tend to ramble on a bit, as you're probably guessing already. But we're going to... too far. But we're going to ask you to do something. Who here is using Scrum? Daily stand-up, you know what the daily stand-up is? What did you do yesterday? What are you doing today? What are you going to do? Or are there any impediments? Yeah, we all know this. So, I want you to turn to the person beside you, and I want you to answer those questions. What did you do yesterday? In 7 words. So take a moment to think about it. There's no right or wrong answers. We were all here. That doesn't tell me anything. Remember, this is communication. You're sharing an idea. Alright? So, let's say, what did I do on the weekend? Well, my mother-in-law cooked. Right? That tells you a little bit, not just about what I did, but how I felt about it. To be fair, my mother was actually a very, very good cook. If she's actually going to watch this video, which I doubt she will, so that's another matter. But this exercise, 7 words. Take a moment to think about it. Talk to the person next to you. What did you do yesterday? Come on. Go. Yeah. Or less. 7 or less. Convey a feeling if you can. Alright. It's hard, isn't it? Alright, now we're going to do it again. Alright, let's change the question. What are you going to do tomorrow? Alright, but this time, I want the other person's going to have to guess how you feel about what you're going to do tomorrow. So you've got 7 words to say what you're going to do tomorrow. Other person guess how you feel about that. Go. Rule of the room. If I put my hand up, if you see anyone with a hand in the air, you put your hand in the air and you stop talking instantly. Right? Within about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, we'll have the room under control. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to stick my hand up. You put your hand up and follow suit. Okay? So, a lot of laughter. I'm hoping most people are going to have a good day tomorrow. That's what it sounds like. Anyone not going to have a good day tomorrow? Fantastic. All right, let's move on. Communication is non-verbal. Right? In those 7 words, tell me, when you guess what the other person was going to feel the following day, how much was it in the words or how much was it in their body language and the tone? 70%. There we go. Right. It's a number. Let me show you something. I want you to tell me what this gentleman is thinking, not what he's saying.
So what I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. Inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
So, what he said, we didn't wittingly collect any information about Americans. All right. What do you think he was really saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely we did. I just don't want to answer that question. Body language, that was an extreme example, okay? But body language is a very large part of communication. And one of the things that you need to learn is how to read that. And we're going to practice that a little bit today, right? So keep that in mind. We're going to come back to that topic. Another idea, communication is cultural. So, who here has heard of Gert Hofstadter? And I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I apologize. 1 person, 2 people. So, over the last 40 years, there's been a series of research around effectively stereotypes. What is it about communication and the different forms of communication that differs between cultures? Now, he has a series of different, what he calls indexes. The power distance index is one of the most common. Right? So, in your same region, we've got Australia, that's me. We've got Austria, the lowest power distance index in the world. We have the Czech Republic, and we have Russia, one of the highest. I think Malaysia is actually the highest power distance index in the world. So this tells us that if you're dealing with people in different cultures, which as a European you will do all the time, then you're going to be dealing with people who have different perceptions of both authority, right? Individualism, though interestingly very similar across the European countries. Australia is a very individualistic country, right? Masculinity. So this is coming out of the 60s or the 70s and the 80s, so this is somewhat sexist, but these are the traditional masculine traits, right? How important is strength and dominance versus, well, non-masculine traits. Uncertainty avoidance. Think of this as anti-agility. How high or how much does this culture want to avoid uncertainty? Russia does not like uncertainty. Right? Austria, Czech Republic, you guys don't like uncertainty all that much. Right? Which makes it hard in an agile world where the only thing is certain is uncertainty, based on my previous talk. Long-term orientation. How much do you plan for the future? We Aussies, pretty bad at it. Alright? You guys, not too bad. Indulgence. As you can tell, us Aussies, we like to indulge a bit. But the rest of you, Czech Republic, Russia, you don't like to indulge. Or at least not comparatively to the rest of the world. So, what does this say? It means that when you're communicating with people of different cultures, you're going to have to adjust. You need to know that if you're talking to someone in Austria about authority or leadership, then they're going to have a different mental model of what that means to you. Understood? Alright, let's have some fun. Alright, there is a model called the Thomas Gilman Thomas Gilman model? It's the Thomas Gilman questionnaire. I forget what the actual model's called. But it's basically how different stances that people take during a negotiation. Right? So, concern for your own agenda. What does that mean? How much do you want to win the negotiation? Concern for others' agenda. Right? How much do you want the other people to succeed? Right? If both of you are low, so if you don't care about the answer and they don't care about the answer, then you're going to try and avoid the conflict anyway, because it's not important to you. Right? If it's high for you, but low for them, you're going to be competing. Right? You want to win, you're going to push. Right? And if it's accommodating, right, which means you don't necessarily want to win, but you want to get goodwill. Right? You want to have them to owe you a favour, or it's just something that's not important to you. Well, in those situations, you're going to be accommodating. Right? You're going to give them more than you're going to get from that negotiation. Collaboration. That's when you want to win, but you also want them to win as well. Right? And then in the middle is the compromise, right? Where you'll find some common middle ground. Now, we're going to do this. So we're going to make a little exercise. So I want you pair up, right? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and have an imaginary 500 crown. And you're going to try and split it between you. Now, right, this is 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, right? Which means you can't get an even split. You can't tear a note in half. Well, you could, but I suppose that's one answer. So 50-50 is never going to happen. Okay? So, what I want you to do is, in your head, pick a stance. Right? Pick one stance that you're going to take. You got it? Now, turn to the person beside you, and you've got 2 minutes. And one person negotiates, see how you get, then the other person, let's see how it goes. Off you go. Okay, so between the two of you, how was the split? The 300, 200. In which way? Who won? Fantastic. What stance had he taken?
He was first competing, then he flipped the collaboration.
Is that true?
Not really.
Okay. All right. Who else?
Yeah, we were like from high, like we couldn't really give a shit. We just had 500. So one solution was we just going to gamble it, so double or nothing.
Interesting. And so what? so what was she? What was her stance?
She was high.
High what? So collaborating? Marijuana's not actually an answer. Right. Collaborating?
Yes. Yeah.
And what was he?
The same. Not from the beginning, but at the end.
All right, over there.
Yeah, we had a sort of a collaboration from the start. We had a really win-win in my opinion. We split 300, 200. But the value for me, the 50 kronas value was that he recommended a book that we impacted before. So it was
Fantastic. All right. Let's do this again. All right. Flip partners. Try someone else. Pick a different stance. All right. Pick a different stance. Got 1 minute. Okay, different question this time. Who didn't reach a conclusion? Hands up. All right. So you didn't reach a conclusion. What do you think he was?
He was trying to win because of the previous situation.
Okay. So do you think he was what? Competing?
Sorry?
Do you think he was competing?
Yeah.
And what do you think she was?
She was also competing.
Is that true? Were you competing?
Yeah, she doesn't like it.
All right. What about you two? Mm-hmm. And?
We finished with compromising and out 50-50.
How do you 50-50? It's only hundreds.
I did not agree.
Okay, so okay, so think about this in your day-to-day life. Right? You're going to go. You're trying to negotiate a change to a corporate policy. Right? So you walk into the head of HR's office. We need to change how we incentivize our staff. Right? Where do you think the head of HR is going to be? Right? No, probably here, competing. Because the head of HR doesn't want to change the policy, right? And they don't really care about you that much. Right? Well, it depends on the organisation. You might have a really nice head of HR. All right, so you're going to that office, you know they're going to be competing. So you need to develop strategies around that conversation that allow you for them to win, right? Or at least perceive to win while you still get what you want. You're going to go buy a car. You're going to buy a used car. What day of the month do you buy a used car? Last day. Right? Always go the last day of the month or the last day of the quarter. At least this is true in Australia, because that's when they're measured. Right? They're KPIs. So they want to sell because they want to get those final few KPIs. They won't make a loss, but they're not willing to make a lot of profit. They're happy to, because for them, they just want to sell. Right? You go in the first day of the quarter, you're not going to get as good a deal, because they want to make as much profit as possible on those days. So understanding the context, understanding who people are and when you're having that conversation will help you in those negotiations, in those collaborations. And that's something you do all the time. It could be with a teammate. Right? Oh, I think we should use Docker. Oh, no, I think we should use something that's not Docker. I don't know, it's been so long. And it's do you care? I mean, do you both not really care? In which case, just pick one. Does someone really want Docker and the other one don't mind? Then don't fight. Just avoid it. Take the goodwill. All right? Take the favor and just accept the loss. You don't have to win everything. So negotiation is going to be a critical part in pretty much every day for the rest of your life. Does that make sense? All right. So, shall we do this for real? I want 2 volunteers. Come on, 2 volunteers. Seriously? Can I get the microphone? Seriously, I have literally 500 crowns. There we go, 1 volunteer. Right? 2 volunteers, fantastic. Come on up.